Well, hey everybody, this is Ryan Steva, and I have Jared Wilson here, and our special guest today, Will Copeland, and we're going to be talking about the EDC bug out bags and get home bags as well. This is the Resilient Living podcast, and we do this every Tuesday at 6 p.m. So if you want to join us live, if you're hearing this later, just hop on YouTube and find us at 6 p.m. or Facebook. We stream it to a few different places. So welcome, guys. Thanks for being here. Welcome, Jared, and welcome, Will. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, man.
Will, I don't know you, so this is a great opportunity for me to get to ask you, who is Will Copeland, and just give us a little bit of a history of how you got into being prepared, doing, thinking about EDC, bug out bags. Was there a point at which that happened? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I come from a background of a little bit of law enforcement. And so dealing with troubled youth. And then I actually worked at the penitentiary for a couple years. And so when you're in and around that environment, man, you just kind of want to be ready, right? A sense of being alert and, on point. And then growing up on a farm, day-to-day life, you got to, carry things around with you. And so I've always been the kind of person I want to be able to fix what I come to, right? I don't want to have to ask for help. I guess that's a man thing, right? Pride. Yeah. And so I wanted the knowledge, and then I wanted the tools to be able to do so. And so I later in life, I got into internet, telephone, security systems, doing that for a living. And now I actually do my own business, doing handyman work. And so tools have always been a thing for me, and knowing how to fix things, right? And so my background kind of revolves around being ready, being prepared. And now for a living, people call me to fix things,
sure,
right? And so that EDC, having stuff in my pockets or on my person, or within, say, walking distance of me, to be able to fix or take control of a situation, or just to be ready, has always been a priority for me. And then, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So being somebody who is not especially, like, I have not dug in super hard on preparedness. I have kind of my angle of preparedness, which is being able to produce food, making connections in community. I try to have EDC, but my big thing is I really struggle to get that EDC down to everyday carry. Right. I want to have everything. So, okay. So both Will and Jared, if Jared, maybe go first, just give me your like summation on how do you whittle that down, and what do you carry? And then Will, once he's done, if you could give me some info on that too.
Sure. So, as far as my EDC, okay, let's do a pocket dump, right? Okay. So I carry a pocket knife. It's just one of those things that, like, I grew up with. Everybody should have some form of a way of cutting things. It's just, you should. It's just one of those things. Another thing that, and this is from being a biomed, a flashlight. I cannot tell you how often I just need to be able to see in the dark spot. I need to be able to lay it on the floor and find that screw that fell, whatever. And getting something small. And as far as EDC goes, small things are convenient because they aren't obtrusive. When I ride motorcycle, how a long one, it would fall out and I'd have to replace it. So expensive. So yeah, that, what else do I have? Usually I have my ball cap on. In my ball cap, in the brim of it, or in the sweatband, I usually have at least $20 rolled up in the sweatband. Stuck into the bill of it will be a sail needle for paracord. So if you got paracord, it's got 7 twisted pair strands of fine nylon, and that sail needle will you can use it. And when we get into the 10Cs, well, that's in there.
Yeah.
And so that's just something that I always have on me, I guess. But it's particular to the environment in which I live. Aside from, like, I also, if you ever see me out and about, I usually have a green backpack on. And we'll dig into what else in my green backpack, but on my person, that's typically what my EDC is.
Because the backpack isn't EDC. That's sometimes carry, right?
No, it's
Ever.
I always have my green backpack. I've had people like I rode up my motorcycle up to the Legion one day, and I left it at home. And the second I got there, I got asked by 3 people, "Where's your bag? You're making me uncomfortable. Where's your bag?" It's just, I always have my bag. If you go to church, it is sitting on my chair in the front row. It's there. I just always have it, because so it has all of my other stuff. So it has, well, it's sitting on right beside me right now. It has my paracord. It has all of my medical stuff. It has my remote hole punchers. It has all of the other stuff, my tourniquets, my quick clot. It has all of my land navigation stuff. So compasses, alternate forms of starting fires, ferrocerium rod, lighter, magnifying glasses, all of the topographical maps for my area. It's all my stuff. I don't know. And a water bottle.
Cool. So Will, same question. How do you narrow it down? So, because I want to have the kitchen sink with me, and what do you carry? Whatever you're comfortable sharing, at least.
Oh yeah, no. So I'm just like Jared. Like, the first thing I go to is a knife, right?
I recognize that knife.
Right. I love this knife. I love this knife.
Available at Resilient Living.
Yes. And everyone needs one.
Shameless plug.
So, but a knife, because Jared's right. A knife is your first, man, that's your first of a lot of things, right?
From defensive to
it's
just
the first.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, defense, survival.
I cut up sandwiches for my kids.
Yes. I mean, the knife is kind of like my little boy's blanket. Like, it gives comfort, right? I mean,
oh, don't you hate traveling when you fly and you can't have your knife?
I've flown one time.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I've done decided that if they can't build a bridge to it, I'm not going. Okay. I'll go to Hawaii when there's a bridge.
When there's a bridge.
But so a knife, right? So that's gosh, dude, ginormous keys. I keep that one separate. I've got something. Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
So it has a pocket clip, but I don't. This goes on my pocket to pull out. This is down in my pocket, and it's a Gerber.
Yep.
Jared, what is this?
Oh, I can't think of the name of it, but
it's a slim tool or something. I
something
cannot
like
remember.
that.
Straight drive. Anyway, it has knife. But what I love about it is it's got a screwdriver.
Yep.
Yeah.
That bit driver is fantastic.
It is. I like this over another giant competitor because it is a standard bit, and the other competitor has flat bits, and But screwdriver, saw, I've used that more times than I care to even think about it.
Good for drywall. Like, I was surprised.
And then, like, this is, I think, a leather owl is actually what this is meant to be.
It's a hole poker.
It's a hole poker, man. And so, but I keep some form of a multi, right?
Yeah.
Because, like I said, when I was kind of in the introduction, I like to be ready.
If you don't need the pliers, something like that is so convenient because it's so small.
So I carried a multi for years.
Yeah.
And the multi I wanted was so bulky.
Yep.
With a pocket clip.
Oh,
I mean, it's like, by the time you're done, you look like the rodeo clown with the big pants, right? And we don't need to look like
Batman with his belt,
right?
Yes.
And I mean, and that's what you're getting at, Ryan, is like you can't be Batman, even though how cool would that be? You know?
Yeah.
But and then of course, like my wallet, one thing too, and Jared had is, man, a watch.
True. Yeah.
Like I guess people have
Yeah.
certain things, right? My watch is it. Like if my watch breaks, I'm stopping right there and I'm going to get another one. I don't care if it's Mickey Mouse.
No.
I need to know the time. And so again, it's kind of like the first thing, we talked about the knife, the watch, man, that is huge. And Jared hit something too I want to just touch on real quick. This is all circumstantial.
Very.
Okay. We live in a rural area for the most part. We go into a heavily populated areas. So if you're going into an area like that, what we're going to get into here in a little bit, your bug out bags, your get home bags, stuff, even on my EDC will change.
It shifts. Yeah. Right.
It will shift
very much.
Because now if I'm getting home, I'm looking at totally different environments.
Mm-hmm.
But like what Jared said, this is stuff every day I'm going to have on me. Like hands down. I will turn around and go back home. Jared's better than I am, because if I would have made it up there without my bag, I'd been like, hey, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
And I'd went home and got my bag. But that's, yeah.
Absolutely.
So my two that I really settled on and then keep losing, so I haven't gotten to buy new ones yet, was the Wingman by Leatherman.
Yeah.
Because it's fairly slimline. I can just stick it on my pocket.
Sure.
It's got a knife. It's kind of crappy, but it's a knife.
Yeah.
And a pliers. And I do a lot of random weird jobs where all those little tools are really helpful.
Oh yeah.
And then just a pocket clip, flat rechargeable flashlight, super high lumen.
Yep.
But I like the ones that have the clip so you can stick them on a hat and make them into a headlamp if you need to.
Yep.
So those are my big ones. I've also got this guy. It's an exchangeable blade.
Yes.
My only issue is I end up using my blade for prying more than I should. And this little part on the back here, it likes to split. So I don't know if I can show that on camera, but
yeah.
So I've got to get a new one, but
sure.
Those are kind of nice because then if you dull your blade, you can just swap it out.
Yeah.
And you can still sharpen them. You can take that dull blade back and sharpen it and keep using it. But
sure.
That way you have a instantly sharp knife if you need it. I really like the Gerber little tiny pocket clip one. Jared, you have it at resilientliving.com.
I do.
Or in your shop at least. I really like those ones too because they just take the standard
utility blade.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so when I do travel, I would carry that because I could just pop that blade out, throw it away, get to wherever I'm going. I can always find a tool, shop somewhere that's got a utility blade. Put that in there. I've got something. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even if you can I don't know if you can put the blades in your carry-on or not, but I like
Probably.
that. But you can take the blade out.
Yep.
That's a great option. I had this money clip that I loved, and the TSA stole it because it had this little tiny letter opener on it. Anyways.
Yeah.
We could complain forever about them. So, do you guys want to? I don't know how you want to talk about this for sure, but do you want to talk about beyond EDC or anything more about EDC or everyday carry for those who are uninitiated?
Yeah, right. Yeah, my mom messaged me. She's like, "What is EDC?" I'm like, "Oh, I really probably shouldn't have used an acronym that most people may not be familiar with." Yes, everyday carry.
Yeah. So it means something you're going to carry on a daily basis. You're not going to leave without.
Exactly. So yeah, if we wanted to get into more of the bag carry items, the list that I go off of is from Dave Canterbury, and he had the 10 C's of survivability, which is just a really down and dirty, bare bones look. If you've got this stuff, you're going to be able to survive in pretty much any environment. To for at least a while. His whole thing was 72 hours. Like you can get a pretty good distance in 72 hours. You can get home from a lot of places in 72 hours.
Sure.
So if we just wanted to kind of dive down that little rabbit hole, that would be, I think, where I was planning on going.
Do you
Okay,
guys
so
want to answer this question quick since we've got somebody asking?
Hey Caleb, what's up, bro? All right, will be the most recommended daily work and carry knife.
Is there a fair? Is there a fair answer to that?
No, there really isn't. I mean, because
it depends, right?
It depends.
It depends.
Yeah. So Caleb, like you're working around, automotive stuff. You're on your bike a lot, so it's gonna be a little bit different. Because I don't know how much I'm gonna trust having like a pocket clip to hold your knife in, because it can just bounce right out, while you're going down the road, and then you just lost your knife. That would suck. That being said, you don't necessarily want to have like a leather holster style sheath hanging off of your belt. If you're not wearing a belt, then that's, for a work knife.
You definitely want something. You definitely want something with a good strong blade.
Oh yeah.
So blade steel, 1095 high carbon.
Yep.
Or D2. Those would probably be
any
two.
of the CRs. Any of the
CRs would be good. And I mean, a work blade. Now, when I think work, I'm thinking at least a 3-inch blade, if not longer, right?
And that's what I was kind of leaning more towards was like something sheathed, like a fixed blade.
Yeah, like almost a fixed or something.
Or like CRKT, where you have a decent length. Boy, I hope this doesn't get us kicked off Facebook. Decent length blade, and it locks up solid.
Yes.
It's it sits deep in the pocket, so it's not as likely to come out. It has really good spring steel for the clip. I don't know about you, I catch my clips on my seatbelt all the time, but this thing, after a decade of use, is still just as tight to the body as it was when I got it.
Yeah, I speaking of flashlights, I'm embarrassed. I always carry a flashlight.
And you don't have it on you?
I don't have it. I carry an
You have to admit that.
Dude,
you knew what we were talking about.
I know. I know. I don't want to, but I carry an Olight TS or T5S. It takes 1 AA battery.
Yeah.
But it has the clip, Ryan, like what you were talking about.
Yeah.
You can put it on your hat.
Yes.
Yes. That's actually huge.
And having a standard battery is really nice because you can swap it out.
Yes.
That's huge. Yes.
Plus, you can get the nickel metal hydride rechargeables if you want to.
Or lithiums or
Yeah. Try to always with flashlights, try to stick with a AA, AAA.
Yep.
Something that,
Standard.
I can walk into a house and take your TV remote control and smack it, and I've got 2 new batteries, right?
Yeah, none of these silly little tiny button batteries or
no. I mean, I've got some lights that take that.
Oh yeah.
But they're shoved in a bag.
Yep.
It's like, the apocalypse is upon us.
That's why I like this one. It's USB chargeable.
Yes. I have a couple like that too. Yes.
I love it.
That. So
I really hate the what is it? The 123s.
Yes.
They're like half length and it's
they're like short and
like,
kind of dumpy looking.
Don't do that.
Just don't do it.
There's no reason
but
to.
To go back to the question, it's really circumstantial.
Yeah.
And it depends on what type of work. Like you stated there earlier, maybe you used your knife a little too much to pry. Well, now it's malfunctioning because that knife is not designed to do that. Really, knives are not designed to pry.
Right.
No. But if
you can get the Gerber that has the pry bar built in, so yours has the
I think this is intended to be a bottle opener.
It is. It works.
No, that's a pry bar.
Dude, it is. That is a pry bar, and I have done amazing things with that little guy.
It's a paint can opener as well.
Yes, it's all of those things.
And for what, $50?
Fidget toy.
Something like that? Oh, yeah, right.
Look, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've sat around and done this right here for hours. and it's amazing. But yes, I mean, like $50. And now you've got something that you can actually carry in your pocket.
You can you got the screwdriver, you got the pry. Yeah.
I'm going to go with this every time. I love this.
Yeah, there you go.
I love this. But if I had to pick, I'm picking this.
Yeah.
Every time. Yeah. but it is really, I mean, work knife. If we're skinning animals, I want a skinning blade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends. It really depends.
And that's the hard thing. Kind of going back to Ryan, what you were saying, but you want to take everything in the kitchen sink.
Mm-hmm.
It can get really, and we'll dig into this when I get to the backpacks. It can be really tempting to try and bring everything. It's well, heck, we can just get into it. So my recommendation for backpacks specifically is not to get anything over 35 liters. And the reason I say that is because there's 65, 70, 100-liter bags. Don't do it because you'll fill it. You have the room, you're going to fill it. And now you've got a 80-pound pack on your back. You're not going to carry that for very long. And you're going to be miserable.
We're getting home.
Yeah.
That's the concept.
And that's it. It's like, I'm not going to need to be able to do everything just in order to get home.
Right.
There's a specific driving purpose here. And I'm absolutely guilty of bringing everything in, including the kitchen sink. I had a multimeter in mine. I'm a biomed. Like, I was like, I'm going to, exactly. And that was my justification, was I might need it.
Right.
And I really had to wrestle with learning to be better at using my knowledge and utilizing the equipment I have, and making things not just do that singular, specific thing, but like, okay, this can be used for this or this. This can be used for, all of it, because I know I have the knowledge because I've read the books or because I've taken the classes or whatever. And that's where it's great to be able to talk with guys who've done this stuff because you can learn those things. You can learn those tips and tricks about, especially like paracord. Paracord is such a fantastic, it
really is.
It is. You can do so many things with paracord. It's great. We should do a class.
Well,
on
and you
paracord.
can even get a little like, I've got a whole bag of bracelets. I got them for like 10 cents a piece.
Sure.
That's paracord, and you just cut it off and pull it out, and you've got paracord with you wherever you go.
Oh yeah.
To your point on like learning knowledge and then putting that into action, just a funny story and maybe admitting a failure of mine. Like a week ago, I lost one of the keys to my truck. And in doing so, it kind of created this whole situation where I didn't have a backup key to get into my truck on the outside of my truck anymore. And I locked my only key in my truck. And my wallet was in there. My phone was in there. Everything was in my truck. I was in this little, it's Gainsborough, Tennessee. So a little tiny town.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't go and buy anything because I didn't have money. I didn't know anybody there. So I start walking and thinking about it. I walk down this like alley that's got trash everywhere. And there's like a piece of a 6-inch PVC, like a little kind of curved piece. And there's a stick. And then I think and then there's like one other stick or a pipe, a little galvanized pipe. And so I take these things and I go back to my truck and I'm like, how can I get into my truck? Because I know how to break into a vehicle. It's not all that hard with the right tools.
Yes.
But I've got a shard of PVC, a stick and a pipe. And so I was able to take this shard of PVC, get my hand up there, kind of wedge it out, put the PVC in. Then I could get the pipe in. I pried it a little more, got the PVC down further. And then I had this kind of curved stick. And I went and popped the little lock button.
Yeah.
Open the door. The alarm goes off. Grab the key. Turn the ignition backwards with the proper key, and it turns off.
Good to go. Yeah.
So I didn't need, a little inflator bag and special tool to, reach in and pop that. And
right.
That's me being dumb because I should have gotten another key right away to put on the outside of my car. But, the ability to think through a problem and figure out how to do it oftentimes is more important than having the tool with you.
Oh, very much. Oh, very much so.
Yeah. I wanted to hit that tonight, and Ryan did. The most important thing is this.
Mm-hmm.
None of this stuff matters if you don't have this.
Right.
Being calm, cool, collective, and just stepping back and thinking, and then going through the training. You can spend thousands and thousands of dollars on gear.
Yep.
But if you don't know how to use it, then it's pointless.
Mhm.
And so, anybody's like, hey, where would you start? How do I do? What do I do this? What's the best pack? What's the best this? All that stuff's great, but take classes,
Yep.
sign up,
Yep.
first aid, CPR, simple things that we take for granted. But most of the time in our day-to-day lives, that's what's actually going to be important.
Oh, absolutely. Hands down.
The medical part of it's probably going to be the more important item. I think a lot of people get infatuated with what did you call it? The remote button shooter thing, whatever.
Punch.
Yeah, I think people get crack me up. I think a lot of people get infatuated with that.
They do,
and then they spend thousands on that, right?
And you are 10 times more likely to render medical aid than you are to ever utilize that particular device.
Yes. Oh, maybe 100 times more.
Probably.
Yes.
I mean, even just right out in front of my shop, not that long ago, I went and rendered medical aid.
Yes.
Because
the wreck
there was this horrible wreck, and okay, let's do this.
Yeah. I would rather spend a lot of money on my first aid gear.
Absolutely.
And my, and know how to do that. And then like you did, Ryan, being able to not panic, just breathe for a minute.
Yep. Evaluate your situation.
Yes.
What resources do you have available?
Yes.
All right, let's make a plan. Let's move.
Yes. I mean, that's a lot of times, that problem solving but really the remaining calm. That's it. That's one of the bigger things I would tell somebody. We talk about, these scenarios and getting home and stuff, and the difference between I'm sure we'll get into it, the difference between a bug out bag and a get home bag.
Yeah.
Right. And we're going to talk about all that, but the most important tool is your mind, your knowledge. That's what you need to work on first.
Yes.
Then add the gear as you gain the knowledge. That
supports the knowledge.
Yes.
Not the other way around. Because
correct.
Having the equipment isn't going to make you Goran Thumb. No. It's not going to make you into this superhero or whatever. It's like, no.
Hollywood is Hollywood. Okay. I mean, that's it. Like Jared stated, medical is going to be to use 10 times, maybe 100 times more than any other part of really what we're going to probably get into.
Yep.
So
absolutely. Definitely. So Dave Canterbury has this list, right? It's the 10 C's of survivability. And I like it because it's fairly easy to remember because all of these words, start with a C. And so that makes it easy. So, and we've already kind of touched on the first one, a cutting tool. So you need to have something for cutting, whether it's cutting rope, cutting food, self-defense, whatever. I do recommend having some kind of a full tang blade. Gerber makes the strong arm. It's a fantastic knife for $100. You'd be hard pressed to destroy this knife. You don't have to go and spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on the SE or on the no, you can. And I have them at my shop for a reason because they're fantastic knives. Don't get me wrong, but you don't have to. It's not going to, a cut is a cut.
Right. That's exactly right. I mean, like I said on the working knife, look at the steel.
Yeah.
Do the research.
Yep.
Look at the steel. If it's got a good steel in it, it doesn't matter who makes it.
No. Right.
I mean,
I've made some pretty honestly, not touting my own horn. Yeah, I am. Out of lawnmower blades, like,
oh yeah,
a lawnmower blade or a rasp, a file, whatever, you can make a fantastic knife out of them.
Yes.
And it'll last you forever.
Yes.
So some kind of a cutting tool. The next one is combustion. You need to be able to stay warm. You need to be able to cook food. You need to be able to purify water. You need to be whatever. You need a signal fire, something, scare off predators. So some way of creating fire, be it a Bic lighter, a Zippo, a magnifying glass, a ferrocerium rod, anything that you can think of, a 9-volt battery with some steel wool, whatever. There's a lot of different ways of starting fire. Just need to have something in your bag for cutting, something for starting a fire. The next one is cover. Can you grab that pouch? Yeah, that one. So this is something that we sell in the shop. Is Arcturus makes it, and it is a survival blanket. and you can get one anywhere. You don't have to get one of these. These are more expensive, but they're really, really nice. They're reflective. So if you build a fire, the reflective surfaces, you know how you're sitting around a fire and your back is always cold? Well, if you put this behind you, your back doesn't get cold. It traps the heat. It reflects it back onto you, and they're great. They also work the other way around. If you're in the summertime, you put the reflective side face out, and people can find you, which is great.
Yes.
And you don't get overheated, which is also great. So some way of covering yourself. And then I go along with that. So cordage is next, or a couple down from here, and I would tie the cordage to the cover, because you're going to make a much better cover if you have some form of paracord.
Like they go hand in hand.
They really, really do. And so that's like one of the reasons I have those braids of paracord in the shop. It's 5 strands, 10 foot long paracord. It's all braided up, so it's convenient, doesn't get tangled up. It's easy to deploy. You can use it. You can braid it back up. It's back in your pack and you're done.
Yeah.
So cover, cordage, a container, some kind of, and I highly recommend stainless steel. Nalgene's and all the plastic bottles are great. It's not great to boil water inside of, though.
Once.
You
can do it once.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can boil the water, but I mean, like the chemicals it's releasing into the water.
Probably would not drink it.
No.
Even after it's been boiled.
Exactly.
No, the Stanley, man. When I was hiking all the time.
Exactly.
The Walmart.
Yeah.
$20.
Pathfinder makes them. Yeah.
Yes, man. 2 cups. They slid together. And when we were hiking and camping all the time, everybody was, what's the term? Bougie.
Oh, yeah.
We had to have the top of the line brands and all this. And here I come whipping out Stanley, and you get made fun of.
It worked.
Yeah. And now everybody's like, man, these Stanleys, they're coming back. And I'm like, dude, I got made fun for using that.
Right.
I mean,
well, yours wasn't pink though.
Oh,
no. Mine was like the Stanley green.
Yes.
Like,
traditional.
Yes. It was, I mean, you had one choice. And so, but no, it worked. And man, I cannot tell you how many bags of ramen I cooked out of that.
Oh yeah.
Is that that's the go-to, right? When you're going hiking and camping?
I think so.
I mean, I always just crammed ramen down in a bag, and I was like,
and some jerky.
Yeah, a little bit of jerky, maybe some peanuts.
Yeah.
And then take off, for days on end. And but no, that's the Stanley, some kind of cup, some kind of container, stainless steel. Definitely. I'm like, I'm old enough, and Jared's, me and him's almost the same age, and I'm like, I was around when Nalgene hit the market, right?
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
It was,
and it was like, man, I got a Nalgene.
Yeah.
And it was cool, but you always want to go back to that stainless steel for a container.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, it's safe. You can heat it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep. So after cordage and containers is cotton, and so that one I sell chamois in the shop, and the chamois is if you ever seen any movie from the Middle East, the head wrap that you see typically, it is so multi-purposeful, and that's kind of my why I go to the chamois for the cotton one, is because you want multi-purposeful. It can cover your head, you can get it wet, and it can keep you cool. It protects you from sunburn. It protects you from sandstorms. This is that's Middle East, but you can use it if you were to break your arm. You can use it to hold your arm up. You can pre-filter your water through it. It's just one of those things that it's simple. Basically it's a bandana, just a really big bandana. It's a simple thing, but it is incredibly useful, and it allows you to be much more resourceful for your environment, irregardless of where you are. I love my chamois.
Would flax be another good material for this, or is it really specifically cotton? I'm sorry, shouldn't say flax.
I know flax seeds. I don't know.
Yeah, what do they make out of flax? It's linen.
Oh,
linen. Yeah.
I mean, because like cheesecloth is linen, and that works as a pretty good filtering agent. I don't know about. I imagine it's gonna be strong enough. Okay. I can't think of why it wouldn't work.
It's what historically hospitals, like a long time ago,
Yeah.
hospitals used both for bandages and for sheets.
Yep.
And it's
Yeah.
known to have like built-in healing properties. It's actually a pretty cool material. So just curious.
Yeah,
'Cause
sure.
This is out of my
Nice.
realm, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Nice. Hitting cotton right there and going back.
Yeah.
One of the things is cotton balls and Vaseline.
And Vaseline. Yes. I was
That's
just
in-
talking to a guy
That's
today.
in my bag outside.
Sure.
Like it literally, and with a ferro rod.
Yep.
Like I have it, and I didn't bring my bag in. I know that's like knock number 2. I know. I'm sorry.
You
but
didn't have to say it.
I know. I'm an honest guy, right? What you see is what you get. But man, a lot of this you can get real I think it's called like gear snobby. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's all about names and stuff. 99% of my stuff is in Ziploc bags.
Yeah, right. Because it works.
It works.
Mhm.
And I can buy 100 of them.
Yep.
For
For real
$5.
cheap. Yep.
And so a lot of my stuff, now I have a quality bag,
Sure.
the shell bag,
Yeah.
what everything's in, but most of my stuff's in Ziploc bags. And I have multiple extra bags because man, staying dry.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Like, there's nothing any worse than, getting out here and then all of a sudden it rains and you're, hey, I'm okay. I've got a poncho, but
Yeah.
your pack's not underneath it.
Yeah.
And then you get to where, hey,
Or it's sitting on the ground and it soaks it up.
I need to make a fire.
Ain't gonna do it now.
Nope. But when I was out hiking and camping, all the time 15 years ago, man, cotton balls of Vaseline.
Oh yeah.
That is like everybody has Vaseline or some kind of Vaseline.
Some
product.
type of petroleum based. Yeah.
Yes. And so you take cotton balls that are $2 for a bag.
Yep.
And
Just
you smear it on there.
work it in there.
Work it in there and then put it in a Ziploc bag, get the air out of it and seal it. And I promise every cotton ball is a guaranteed fire.
Oh yeah.
It is. It's a guaranteed fire.
I don't care if it's raining. It doesn't matter. You will have.
Yes. And that's just like, you've got this stuff at home.
Uh-huh.
Right.
It's called petroleum jelly, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes,
probably gonna
petroleum jelly.
It's gonna light.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's petroleum.
Yeah.
And so that's exactly right. And so we talk about all this stuff. Please, it's like, well, I don't have the money to do this. No, you got most of this stuff in your house already. You're like, well, I don't have a full tang knife. Well, you have a kitchen knife.
Yeah.
You start somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. It's all about the mentality of, hey, I've got, I don't have the money to go out and buy, a $50 or $80 multi.
Sure.
Okay. Well, carry some form of a screwdriver.
Yeah.
We do EDC and we've worked on it for years. Literally.
Yes, exactly.
Years. And so
don't look at where we are because it took time to get here.
Yes.
And we started off with the crappy stuff.
Yes. Which, like we named on Stanley, probably now Stanley is, what's in.
Right.
So if you keep your old stuff that's cheap for about 20 years, it's actually going to be the expensive.
Oh yeah. Right.
So,
and it's the vintage version, which makes it really valuable.
It's 3 times the price. But that one's actually been cooked in. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right.
So sorry, rabbit hole there.
Oh, there you go, Ryan. That's cool. All right. Yeah. So after cotton is a compass. So like one of the things that I have on my watch band here is a compass. And it doesn't have to be okay. I was gonna say it doesn't have to be expensive, but you get what you pay for.
Yes.
And unfortunately, compasses, I've seen some cheap ones that are less than accurate and less than consistent.
Yes.
So
especially when you don't use them every day, so you don't have that as muscle memory.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily good at figuring out if your compass is BSing you.
Right. Yeah. You
Correct.
pick it up and you're like, okay, that's north. Okay, I'm going,
Right.
Well, is it?
Yeah. And most of us don't wear silk and have some form of a needle that we can lay on a leaf.
Right. You can do the
you
can do the stick with the shadow trick.
Yeah.
But that takes time. And
that takes time.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you've got it's built on the outside of his watch.
Yep.
Mine's built in my watch.
Right.
But like what Ryan said, you don't know.
Mhm.
I mean, so it's really important to, like again, going back to the knowledge in your head.
Yep.
Silk, it's magnetic. You rub it on the steel, on the needle. You can knock you can get a thin piece of metal, a paper clip,
Mhm.
and point it.
Yep.
Rub the silk on it,
And
put
it
it
will-
on a leaf on water, and it will point.
It'll
north.
tell you which way north is.
Yes. And so, and then the stick and the
Mhm.
shadow,
Mhm.
you can figure it out. It takes time.
No,
you know,
I mean, it's like what, about 15 minutes or so, and
Yeah.
you could get enough to figure out east west, and then
Yes.
from that you know which way north is.
Yeah.
But going back to the knowledge, like if
That's
you
right.
don't know, it's like, I mean, we all know that the sun travels east west,
Right.
but we don't necessarily stop to think about, okay, well that means that if I stick a stick in the ground and we mark where the shadow's tip is, in 15 minutes the shadow will move, and that will be an exact east west line.
Correct.
We could think about that,
You
but
could.
we don't necessarily. Yeah, but if you know that,
If you haven't eaten in 17 days,
yeah,
you're like day
you're not
number
thinking
2.5 off of water,
right.
and you're staring at the stagnant pool that's got like brown stuff in it, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a drink of water. You know, sticking the stick in the ground, watching the shadow probably is not gonna cross your mind.
Right.
Spend the money on a good compass.
Yes.
That is the moral of that story.
Yeah, Sun Tzu is a great
Yes.
one. And there's different styles of compasses, and we're not really going to dig into that, but take a class. Basic land nav classes. They're the Boy Scouts can teach you. I'm like, there's a lot of, get a good book, watch a YouTube video. There's great land nav classes out there.
Well, you mentioned you got your topographical maps.
Yeah.
You know, that's huge.
Oh yeah.
You hit that, and when you said that, it hit me. Man, spend the money and get that.
Yes.
You know, where you live at.
You live. Yep.
Get those. I think I have about 6 at the house.
Sure.
And that's enough, basically. I can see where you're at.
Yeah.
To my house.
Yeah.
All the way to the north side of my county.
Yes.
Yes. Like so about 4 to 6 maps, you'll have your county.
Yeah.
And with my job,
I've got the corridor basically. So I go from Cookville all the way to Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Run the 111 corridor, because I figured, if I'm going anywhere, it's probably going to be along that line.
That's right. That's right.
If I need something else, I can. Yeah.
I was going to say, just on navigation, one of the things that I've done with my kids is you can stop at like one of the welcome centers near you.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you've got a rest station, they'll have local maps.
Yes.
And so it's not, I wouldn't necessarily rely on it. It's fine to have in your car, but I've gotten those and given them to my kids.
Yep.
And so we'll do like, it's both a distraction for them, but also a great teaching tool.
Yes.
So I can go, hey, can you figure out where we are on the map?
Right.
And so like kids, most adults don't know how to use a map today.
That's
So to have small kids who can open up a map, look at it for a while, watch until we pass a road and go, well, I know we're on I-40 and that road says this. Find it on the map.
Yes.
And then I can ask, okay, which direction are we going? And for them to be able to answer that, like that's something we should be instilling in our kids.
Yes.
And
Yes.
something we should be practicing too. And so just that little thing that we do periodically, and it's totally free. It keeps the kids busy, keeps them thinking about something, keeps their brains engaged, keeps them from fighting in the car.
Right.
It's just a fun little thing you can do.
We do the same thing whenever we go to the any of the parks, because the parks usually have a map for the park.
Yep.
Which is really great, because if you have kids that have a propensity to wander off, them having a map is a good thing.
Yes.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I wouldn't. I'm not naming names.
Yeah.
It's okay. He won't watch this. All right. Yeah. So compass is great. Next thing is candlelight. So this is basically your general light source. So your flashlights or whatever, headlamps, chemical glow sticks. Typically in all of my backpacks, I have chem lights. They're stupid cheap. I don't know. You can buy 100 pack of them for like, I don't know, $20 or something like that.
You know what's funny is I actually seen them on Amazon the other night, and it was like it was like 100 pack. I think it was $12.99.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they are really
They're
cheap.
really cheap. I love giving them to my kids just so they can go around and have play out in the woods or whatever and have fun. And it's really fun to just they're really fun to shoot out of shotguns. Sorry.
Didn't know you could do that.
I don't recommend it, but it's hilarious fun. It rains. It's colorful.
And another thing too, if you're traveling at night, or say, if you are getting home, right, or you're bugging, and I want to say this too. To me, the difference between a bug out bag and a get home bag, if I'm bugging out, I'm by myself.
Okay.
I'm going by myself.
Okay. You have a purpose in
I have
leaving.
a purpose.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
I'm getting a thread away from my family or whatever I
Okay.
have to do.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So I'm bugging out. Like I am a get home bag is really what I focus on because
Yes.
I have wife and children.
Yes.
I'm getting home.
Mhm.
And so, I put more emphasis on a get home bag than I do a bug out bag.
Absolutely.
I do have both.
Yep.
But my bug out bag gets very little attention, whereas my get home bag, if I'm going to a, like I said, a heavily populated area or something, stuff inside that changes. The variables change.
Right.
And so, that's the difference for me in a bug out bag and a get home bag.
Mm-hmm. Very much
And so I know that might be a question for somebody. So
sure.
Anyway,
Yeah.
there you go.
And,
No, you're good.
It
Yeah.
seems like there's a bit of a distinction too in like between a bug out bag, which is, kind of geared a little bit towards maybe wilderness survival type situations, as opposed to like there's another term, but like a to-go bag.
Mhm.
So let's say you get the call that one of your kids was in a car accident and they're okay, but you need to get to the hospital fast.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
might be there for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Having a to-go bag that has a change of clothes,
Toiletries has, medication. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so I have allergies. So I have a EpiPen.
Yeah.
So in all my bags have,
Oh,
that,
yes.
and I also have antihistamine in some form or fashion, like Benadryl or just pure antihistamine, in some form. So I have multiple things because I have allergies, and that's a big thing. If you wear glasses,
Yes. Have an extra pair.
That's right.
Don't get rid of your old glasses.
Yes.
I don't care if they're scratched up. I don't care if they're bent up. Just keep them. Throw them in your bag.
You to get into EDC. To get into EDC and this stuff, you almost have to kind of drift over into the hoarder a little bit.
I look at it as I'm channeling my grandparents who went through the Depression.
I'm honoring my
and I'm just keeping everything.
I'm just keeping the word going. I'm just honoring my father and mother. But no, seriously. What I was saying on the difference, I got off right there. But like the glow sticks.
Yeah.
It's the Hansel and Gretel theory.
Mm.
If you are base camp at night and you're like, I need to go look for water.
Yeah.
You pop those.
Yeah.
And then
that's why I love the mini ones.
Yes, you can pop
those
them.
Tiny little guys, and you just
pop them and then drop them.
Mm-hmm.
And then, every 100 yards.
Blue Force Gear, I think, has the dispenser that you can put on your belt, and it has a stack of them, and you just break it as you go and drop it. Break it, drop it.
And it's
I think that's beyond Batman.
So the original
that
application
Flash,
what was military, so you can get those as an IR, so you can see them under night vision. Okay. And so as you're going along through the woods, you can pop it and drop it, and so the guys behind you know exactly what path you took.
Yeah,
that was the original intent.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Getting turned around.
Yeah,
like you can, you're already in severe stress. And so if you're like, hey, I need to go look for a water source, but here I'm going to leave my main bag here and just take this, and I'm going to go out this direction. It's kind of dusky. You can pop something like that, and it's
that point of reference.
To get your way back to base camp.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. So okay, so that's candlelight. So the next, there's only a couple more. So cargo tape. I don't care what kind of cargo. It can be duct tape. It can be 100-mile-an-hour tape. It can be Gorilla. It doesn't matter. If you haven't lived until you've had to repair your tent in the middle of a rainstorm, or your bag rips the bottom out of, and you got to fix it with something, and
or your pants get ripped.
Yeah, you squatted down and ripped.
Yes,
and you're like, oh,
man,
that's wonderful.
Yes.
So cargo tape, and then that really kind of feeds also into the canvas needle. Having a needle, and like I said, I put it in my ball cap. Being able to sew back up my boots, being able to sew back up my bag. It's just one of those things that you're not going to need it likely, but boy, if you need it, you really are going to be happy that you have it.
And going back right there, you remember we talked about
you got that all?
Yes, dude. Right there it is.
Yeah.
I can poke holes in leather.
Yep.
And as long as I have paracord with me, I can repair what I need to repair.
Exactly.
And so,
I
guess that's my canvas needle there.
Absolutely.
So that's a localized hole punch.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
As opposed to a remote one. Yes.
Yeah. Correct.
So there's a couple that I would add to this that aren't part of the original 10Cs, and that's some kind of way of cleaning water. We've talked about this on other podcasts where you're not going to be much good if you don't have water. So having some way of filtering it, whether it's one of the water bottles that have the built-in filter, or a Sawyer Mini,
Yes.
or a Platypus, or whatever brand you like, and that's where we can get really bougie.
Yes.
Really fast. A Grail
Yes.
bottle is like $150.
Yeah. You're not going to go wrong with the Sawyer.
No, exactly.
You're just not. And
especially the price
point, what, $25.99
Yeah.
or something like that.
There's-
And it comes with the bag,
Yep.
the filter, and the hose.
Yep.
You can pick that up at Resilient Living too, by the way. Stacks of them. But no, and again, it's knowledge, right?
Yes.
So you're like, hey, I'm good. Well, here's the thing: Aquatabs.
Yeah.
Aquatabs kill stuff that may get through one of these filters.
Yep.
You don't know if there's a dead animal floating in the stream up above you.
Yeah, Giardia sucks.
Yes, right. And so layers of water filtration.
Yeah.
If you guys watch any kind of survival show or anything, you'll always see a contestant get put out because they drunk bad water. They got too big of a hurry. Oh, they panicked and they go over and they drink.
Going back to what you said is keeping us, your mind
cool, calm, and collective. Man.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're not going to die. You're thinking, oh, I'm going to die if I don't get a drink of water, and you just, you drink out of a mud pole that's got, or a muddy puddle of water, and you're like, I feel so much better. You do for the first 3 hours,
and then
your guts start trying to just tear themselves in half.
And
it's terrible. So aqua tablets are $10.
Oh yeah,
for a bottle. I mean,
and
so for less than $50, you've got a complete water filtration system, and that's going to last you for much longer than 72 days or hours.
Yeah,
probably 72 days.
Yes,
yeah. I mean, you're taken care of. So there's places to spend money.
The Sawyer's got 100,000 gallon rating, and then those tabs come with 100 tabs or something, and each one of those is good for a couple gallons or something. Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Yes. Yeah. And so fire, boil it, strain it. I mean, I can't emphasize on water. Make sure your water is clean, because that will put you down. You will not make it home. That's it. You will get sick. And so there's places to spend money. If I'm gonna spend money, it's on first aid, water filtration. Those are like the two things I'm gonna spend money on to make sure that's good.
Absolutely. So then and we'll get into the first aid. Some form, and this seems kind of silly, but we kind of what we're talking about, calmness. Some way of centering yourself, stopping, and now that could be having your Bible with you.
That's right.
I have waterproof Bibles. Having some pictures with you, having some kind of a morale boost, deck of cards, some entertainment, something to just stop and get some form of normal, I guess, can be incredibly powerful. You're sitting around your fire, you're like, okay, it's okay, but I'm still freaking out. Having something to a Write in the Rain notebook that you can start jotting down thoughts, what's going on, what you need to do, can help to really calm your mind in those types of environments. So I recommend put something in your bag that can help you to really calm down, and only you really know what that's going to be for you.
Being able to write is so huge.
It is. It really is.
For me, I work on a lot of things that tend to be complex. Like you have to think about a lot of different moving parts and a lot of different variables, and being able to write it down when you're stressed, when you're, out in the sun, working hard, don't have enough water, being able to write something down, take notes, be able to kind of put it off your mind for a minute, or to be able to organize it and make sure that, later, if you remember that thing that you're forgetting, write it down.
Yes.
That will do so much to ease your mind. So yeah, I think just a little tiny notepad is huge. Another thing that I think, I don't know, I just think of people maybe missing, kind of
Hmm.
like you were talking about before with the remote hole punchers and getting a little too obsessed with
Yeah.
that specific thing. People get obsessed with like, what do they have in their bag and do they know how to use it and all that, and fail to even bother going for a hike with the bag on their back.
And
Yes.
that was where I was going to go in a second was actually go out and use your gear.
Mm-hmm.
And right, we've talked about it, like I've taken Rowan down to the woods and like, okay, here's our bag.
Yeah.
Let's start a fire. Let's use the Mountain House meal and let's boil some water in our stainless steel cup, and we're going to reconstitute this meal, and we're going to use our survival blanket to make our own little impromptu shelter. We're using paracord. Like, we went through every little step. Dude still talks about it. Like, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was
a
like
big deal.
It was a big deal, and he
Yes.
had a blast. He keeps that. He's like, Dad, when can we go again? I'm like, just yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal, man. I mean, Ryan, that's awesome that you said that, because you'll see guys, and man, they'll pull out a knife and for a fact that's never even touched anything.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you
Right.
know, and it's like, man, I mean, if I'm gonna put a tool in my pack, I want to I have to use it.
Yeah.
Because if I'm
relying on this
if
sucker,
I'm genuinely pulling this pack out, man, and I'm getting home to my wife and children,
yeah, it better
I
work.
have got to make sure this is going to work, right? A ferro rod, I want to make sure, man, I've sat there and struck that thing 100 times and I'm like, it's going to work.
Yeah.
And some of this stuff we talked about, use it. Like, it's not like one of those things, well, if I use that water filter one time, it's like, it's TikTok,
Oh,
and it's
yeah,
going to go
right.
bad. No, it doesn't work that way. Like you said, 100,000 gallons of water, filter 1 gallon with it. Like, just go do it just one time so you understand how it works.
Well, and then going back to, you are your best EDC.
Yes.
So your mind, so knowing that, and your body.
Yes.
Exercise. People, go exercise. Eat well and exercise.
And hey, I'm on a rabbit hole.
Go for it.
So, I'm 6'3", 290.
Big
And
guy.
I'm a big guy, right? And so it takes about 2,300 calories a day to maintain just basically to keep the motor running. And so that's a lot. I promise it's half that for Jared. Like, but I know that, right?
Yeah.
So I know things about my body.
Yeah.
And it's super important to know that stuff, because it's like, hey, what is something that's going to trip you up first, right?
Getting enough calories, bringing enough calories for you, that's a big deal.
That is huge.
Sure.
We talk about things like you've got to make sure that you've got the fuel, because most of us we're not used to carrying a 25 to 30 pound pack on our back, hiking 10 to 15 miles a day. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to have things like ginormous blisters on your feet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Take care of your feet.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, listen, buy the good footwear. Okay. Good socks. Those things matter.
Darn tough.
Yes.
Buy darn tough socks.
Yes.
Lifetime warranty, made in America. Great socks.
Great socks. And
you carry those in the store?
I don't yet. Their minimum order was significant, so I didn't end up with them. But I'm still plotting. I'm trying. When we get bigger, I think we will.
Cool.
I mean, it's but knowing, going back, I can't stress it enough. Knowing yourself, getting the mentality of, okay, I'm roughly 30 miles from home. Okay, I've got 3 days to get there. That means 10 miles a day. I've got to do this. And I mean, and then it's setting that to, I'm not going to let anything stop me, period. But there are things that will stop you. And that's why we're talking about what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, you need these things
to
get there. And so that, talking about that comfort, and stuff like that, if you'll go ahead and get your mind ready, that way, when this happens, it's a lot easier to grab a hold of that comfort.
Oh yeah.
And take it.
When you don't have to worry about
Yes. Like, hey, look, I'm going home.
Yeah.
No matter what.
I'm already mentally prepared for
whatever my body. If I have to open up the tree bark and eat the same caterpillar that the monkey off of Lion King
Oh,
slurp down. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna get home, right? I
Right.
mean, and so it's whatever. I mean, pine bark. I'll sit there and take my knife and whittle it off and chew on it, and we're gonna keep going.
On that note,
Mhm.
something that I do just on a like a general health thing is I eat really low carb. And so I'm not always like keto. I'm not that careful or concerned about it, but I'm always really close. And sometimes I'll do mini fasts or
Yes.
allow my body to go into ketosis.
Yeah.
So I know that if I didn't, and this isn't really why, but I know that if I didn't have food for a day, I'd go straight into ketosis. My body would start burning fat, and
Yeah.
I could live for probably a month off of. I mean, I've got more reserves than I probably should. So I could live for probably a month off of those reserves, and be actually probably healthier for it.
Yes.
Whereas if you're, eating cereal and ho-hos every day, you're going to have a really, really physically hard time getting
Yes.
into that state of, switching from burning carbs to burning fats.
Yeah, and that is really important. So, and I don't, maybe people aren't as aware. What you are eating, it gets stored as the fat. So whatever crud you're feeding yourself is the fat that you're going to burn in that environment. So if you're eating well now and you have accumulated extra, that's better fat than if you were eating
Yes.
cruddy food and have accumulated even the same amount of fat. It's not the same.
No.
Yeah,
Eat
the
well.
toxins you have to burn off and what that does to you mentally,
Yeah.
cognitively, emotionally, it's significant.
Oh,
And
and all of that is going to hit your liver and kidneys
Yes.
like a ton of bricks.
And if you already have some medical conditions that you're fighting,
Right.
asthma, I mean, just common everyday things.
Yeah.
When you get into that state and your body starts trying to burn that, I mean, it could be fatal. I mean,
It can,
it
yes.
really can.
Yes.
I mean, because you're already in a high level of stress,
Mhm.
very tense. Your body's already operating higher than what it's used to.
Yeah, cortisol levels are through the roof.
Yes.
You're got adrenaline pumping. It's
And what would normally be okay, your body's in a very high high range right now, and I mean it can be bad. It can lead to muscles locking down.
Yeah.
It can lead to seizures. It can lead to some really bad things. So it's really important what you put in.
Yep.
Garbage in, garbage out.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
So yeah, so we've talked about like all of the components that can go into your bug out bag. I kind of wanted to real quick touch on. Let's see, do we have any? Oh, thanks, Mom. All right, wanted to touch on how you physically pack your bag. So some of the things that and this is hard because like the packs that I have in the shop don't actually meet the criteria that I like for a backpack for this application. So the issue that most of those packs have is they're fairly narrow in the shoulders. So the straps come and meet at a really tight point, which ends up being a wear point on your neck.
Yes.
So and the other thing is they don't have any way of cinching it up so you can properly adjust vertically where that pack rides on your back. So the problem is when you're packing any kind of significant weight, and I'd say that anything above 20 pounds becomes significant. You really, really, really need to have proper posture. You need to have it packed so that the weight is distributed correctly, so that you're not straining muscles, because that is not the time that you want to throw your back out.
No.
Especially those of us who are in that 40-ish realm. We sneeze and we can throw our back out.
I'm not hardly to 40 yet. I look older than both of you. And I may be the youngest. I don't know.
If you're not to 40, you are.
Yes, I am not to 40. I'm nipping
I've
at it.
crossed that barrier, unfortunately.
The
So
plateau. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So one of the things is, jump this up. Okay, so pack distribution. So really important is having all of those heavy items close to your back in the middle. So whatever of those items that we went through ahead of time, as far as like the 10 C's, whatever's the densest, heaviest, thickest, whatever thing, that's where that needs to go. Then you're going to want to have your middleweight items. So not the heaviest are actually going to be at the bottom. So when you're packing this up, when you're building this backpack, you're going to stuff the not heavy stuff to the bottom. And then you're going to build your heavy things on the inside, and you're going to balance that with the lightest things to the outside in that middle section. And then whatever's left over gets in that top cap. Because otherwise you're going to end up having, you're going to fall over backwards. You're going to twist and you're going to screw up your back. You're going to crush things. So it's really important that you properly load your pack so that you don't hurt yourself and you don't damage anything.
Yes. 110%.
Yep. Yeah, I've done a lot of hiking with kids on my back.
Oh.
The kid packs.
Yeah.
And my girls really liked, well, first of all, we did more advanced stuff than, like a 3-year-old could do. So
Yeah.
a lot of times I'm walking around with a 3-year-old on my back.
Yeah.
And it's heavy, they
is.
Get, 40, 50 pounds plus the pack. So yeah, that placement is so vital, because if you get them, if you got the kid leaning back or has too much room to get back away from the pack, it just kills your shoulders, your neck, your low back. It's unsafe for them because they can flop to one side or the other. But same with a backpack, it could essentially throw you off a cliff by accident.
Yeah, and jumping back to that, it's not the purpose of this picture, but proper lumbar support down there at the bottom, that big old strap down at the very bottom, that's the first thing. I think I have another one. Yeah, I did.
That's where most of your weight should sit, is it not?
Exactly. Yes. So you cinch that up around the bottom, and then you adjust the top. And anybody who's done any kind of backpacking or whatever has probably done this. And there's a lot of different types of bags. So this is an example of several of the different styles of backpacks. Unfortunately, a lot of the tactical backpacks are horribly designed. And
they're not what you want for this application.
And I'm saying, going back to what you said earlier about that's something to spend money on.
Yes.
It is worth it to get one that has good lumbar support, that has the adjusters so that you can properly position it in against your back. It doesn't have to be a big old exo frame or anything like that.
No.
Internal framing is fine. I've even got some soft bags that they're adequate. If you stage everything internally, it becomes rigid enough, it's got the cinches on the outside so it can become fairly rigid.
Right.
But those lumbar, you got to get that weight sitting on your hips.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like, hey, I'm just getting into this, Amazon, if you'll just take the time to read the reviews,
yes,
you'll find some really good. I'm trying to think, probably 80 to 100 bucks for and it's a good pack. I mean,
you don't have to get Mystery Ranch. You don't have to get like those are $300-$400,
and it's like, wow,
Osprey or whatever.
Yeah, like $2,500 and set up. No, you can get one of these bags set up for, I mean, complete from nothing. What, $250?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
I mean, and now you're ready to go, right? I mean, and so
and if you take your time and find things on sale, which is what I love to do, is I'll put things in my watch list
always,
and I get Amazon will send me, hey, that's on sale. I'm like, fantastic, go ahead and buy that.
Yes. And when it goes on sale, you need to go to resilientliving.com. because my friend will price match.
Oh no.
No.
I do try to beat Amazon prices on anything I can. That is my goal.
See, that's the goal right there.
Absolutely. So that's basically our bug out / get home bag, and I absolutely agree. So whenever we go someplace, I've got my green backpack, so that one's coming with me no matter what. I have a second backpack. So because most of the items in my green backpack end up on my person, if that were to be an event that happened that I needed to be able to do this, they go onto my person.
Right.
And I've got this other backpack that's got all of my additional stuff. So my backpack goes with me no matter what. That one is if I go anywhere with my family, it's got stuff for multiple people.
Right.
It's if I go any distance more than 20 miles, because I know how far I can get in one day. I know that that's a 2-day stint at, a decent clip, especially if I'm off road. If I'm on road, then that gets a lot easier, and yay. But if I need to get off road and stay off road, okay, I need additional provisions.
Yeah.
And that's the way I pack it. And then the internally, so you've got your plastic bags. A lot of my stuff is in canvas bags, and they're color coded. Yep. And so, like, I've got my red bag. That is my bag for medical. I've got my black bag. That's my fire starting bag. I've got it all. And so, if I need additional, I open that one up. I throw extras in there because I've got more people, or I've got whatever. And so it becomes this really flexible modular base, and I can just let out my backpack and make it a little bit bigger if I need additional stuff, or suck it up if I don't.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be overly complicated. It really should be as straightforward and simple as possible, because it goes back to that goal. What is your objective? It's to get home.
That's right.
That's my goal. Is if I'm coming home with kids and wife in tow, or if I'm just trying to get home to wife, kids.
That's right. Yes, that's huge too. If you're on a trip and you got the whole family,
it gets a lot more complicated, and that's why I kind of included the vehicle loadout in this conversation, because that's something else that I do recommend. It doesn't have to be in this in depth, but it's different. So some of the things that and okay, here. So this is your over the top version, but it has its own purpose. I'm not saying to go out and buy yourself a Gladiator and do the whole Overland thing.
But if you do, let me know, and I want to come check.
I know, right? But there's a lot of good mindsets and a lot of crossover here between the Overlanders and what I recommend as far as stuff to put in your vehicle. Having extra fuel, is maybe you're just driving along and somebody else is out of fuel.
There you go.
Awesome, I can help. Having jumper cables, or even better, one of those lithium jumper packs, dude. Even if you're running like a 7.3, they've got lithium ones that will jump those suckers. It's incredible the amount of,
and you do have to have enough charge on the battery that you're jumping. So jumper cables can be really helpful. To get it up to a voltage where those will recognize it.
Yes.
Agreed.
And if you already have power tools like DeWalt or Milwaukee, $30 on Amazon, and it snaps on top of your battery, and it starts pretty big machinery. I will just go ahead and I'm going to throw that out there. Okay.
You do have to be careful with those. I would only use them in an emergency. I have used them before, but
I bought the one that actually has the reducer, so it goes to a 12.
It drops down to
for $5 more. So for $5, I might save my ECM. Just saying on my vehicle.
Yep.
Do not buy those unless you get either the reset or the inline fuse or the reducer down to a 12 volt. But that is something for $30 and one of those batteries, and keep it charged. Get you out of a pickle.
Absolutely.
So
it's kind of like changing the 9-volt in your smoke detector.
Yes.
All this stuff, all of it, go through it once a year at least. Go through, make sure that things haven't expired, that things haven't leaked.
Yes.
Because that can make an absolute mess out of your bag.
Yes. Check all your expiration dates on everything.
Yep.
And really, if you're gonna do this and do it right, like I said, most of the times I don't leave my county. So a lot of my stuff is in my vehicle because I'm within 25 feet of it at all times.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can get to my vehicle within 10 seconds. And I've got everything I need. So I keep a lot of my stuff inside my vehicle. But, if you're commuting 50 plus miles a day, and you're working in a commercial building away from your vehicle, hey, you can always carry a backpack in.
Yeah.
You can always carry some form of a bag in and take this stuff in with you, because the front door may be blocked and you got to go out the back, and you may not be able to get to your vehicle, and you need to get home. And so now you've got your bag with you. Jared, he takes his bag with him everywhere. I have my bag in my truck. And if I know I'm leaving my truck and it's going to be an uncomfortable amount of distance, my backpack's on me.
Right.
And I go. And backpack, when you're looking at this, coming from a tactical viewpoint, if you're looking at it, you get on Amazon, you look at bags, and there are a lot of tactical, right? Patches all over me.
Yeah. All Molly and Velcro.
You're the number one person that's going to get shot. I'm just go
You're
ahead.
saying, "Hi."
Yes, shoot me first.
I've got gear.
So
You're better off
you know,
with a Mickey Mouse backpack, right?
Honestly, yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
JanSport.
I was
the
just gonna
cheap
say.
Walmart, like
Yep.
you know, maroon bag that looks like what your kid would carry. If you have small children, it's easier because everybody's carrying backpacks and diaper bags and whatever, right? So you've got your bag on, you blend.
That's
So
a gray
you-
man theory right there.
That
Yes.
is. You want to be as blended as you possibly can into a crowd.
Yep.
You never want to draw attention to yourself. And that way you can literally just slip right out the side door and walk, you and your family, and you're not standing out. You're not already been picked off of a crowd of a, you know, active shooter situation and saying, hey, that guy right there.
Right.
You know, I'm already, because I'm my physical size. So, I mean, and we laugh about it, but seriously, 6'3", 290. I'm not going to be, I mean, they're, you know, if I turn around and just look the wrong way, they're going to be on me, right? Versus somebody that's more of a standard size can just, boom, and they're gone and you vanish.
Yeah. Right.
And so, you know, my tactics are a little different because of physical appearance, physical size. You know, I have 3 small children. So, you know, 2 of which are not going to understand. One that barely can. I have a 6'3" and almost 1-year-old. And so my 6-year-old, I've explained some things to her to where she understands. Like if I, you know, I think it's very wise to be as honest and upfront with your children as you possibly can be. Being kind of blunt, just looking at her, say, if daddy says get down,
Oh yeah.
you get
down.
And she'll say, okay, daddy. And she understands I mean that.
Right.
Now, my 3-year-old son is a little different. I'm going to have to physically grab a hold of him and go down. And I'm going to have to do things, right? I'm going to have to grab up and go. And so, but knowing those things, knowing your children and knowing, hey, I've got to get this lined out. We've got to get somewhere. And your spouse, you know, partner
Yep.
has to be on board.
Yes.
Like, look, you have the baby. That is your responsibility. 110%. You take the baby. You take the small, youngest child. You know, if you've got a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old, I've got the 5-year-old because I'm bigger. I can pick that 5-year-old up.
Oh,
and
yeah,
run.
sure.
You to grab the 10-year-old and you take off.
Yeah.
And you find cover.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going. And, you know, and so it goes, my last hurrah, it goes all the way back to knowledge.
Yes.
Pre-planning, having a plan, executing said plan. 110. I mean, every time.
Yes.
That's the most important part.
Yeah. Anytime I go on a trip, we're making some kind of provision. We're saying,
Yes.
okay, if something were to happen, this is where we're meeting. This is when we're communicating. That, you know, whatever.
Yes. Always. Always.
Yeah, and you can even put that plan into like a 3-ring binder.
Oh yeah.
One in each vehicle. Like here's location 1, here's location 2, here's location 3.
Yes.
You know, here's, and if this happens, go here, that kind of a thing.
Yes.
So everybody's on the same page, and you can even have, you know, check-ins at certain times and stuff like that. That's kind of pre-readied, but
Yeah.
maybe everybody doesn't remember all of them, or certain family members don't want to. You can have just a little printout or a 3-ring binder
Yep.
with that
Little laminated
information.
card, whatever. Yeah.
I was about to say something the size of a business card,
Yeah.
laminate it, and literally have it in your wallet or purse. And hey, orange. And you look down at and what orange is,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing, you know, or 36. And you look down,
Yeah,
you have
right.
random numbers, right?
Nobody else is going to understand. but
Nobody
you
knows,
know.
you
Yeah.
know. But if I, you know, I had a friend of mine that did that, and it was their hobby.
Oh, okay.
And man, he would it's so funny you said that, Ryan. They had a binder and it was color coded.
Nice.
He had a room in his house and everything was stacked and toted. And it would be like, I think there were 6 colors, 6 different events that could be, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Natural
Sure.
disaster.
Yeah.
EMT or EMP, you know, martial law, all these things. Right. And so it was a hobby, and he would call his wife and be like, yellow. And in the phone conversation, that's it.
And that was it. Yeah.
And they knew exactly what to do. Like if she got home, she would go in and grab everything that was yellow and start putting it in this vehicle.
Yeah.
And then if he didn't get there within 15 minutes, they went to point 2.
Oh
And
yeah.
she had a certain amount of time that she would sit there and wait, and they'd go to point 3, and then point 3 was the last one. Like that was the dead, right? And so, man, they practiced that. Like he told me one time, his wife called him and like he's like, dude, I've got the grocery cart at Walmart. There's like 3 people behind me, one screaming kid, one old lady that's mad, and then this other guy in front of him was like unloading 2 buggies worth of stuff. He's like, I'm trapped. Right?
Oh,
My phone rings, and it's his wife, and she goes, Blue. And he was like, no. And he and dude, he did, man. He left his whole cart sitting right there and walked beside it, man, and walked out and went. I mean, they took it serious. Like, hey, because as soon as the phone call ended, it started. And he was like, I have X amount of minutes to get to here. If I don't, I have to go to here.
Yep.
And if I don't make it to point 3, then there's other actions that she already knows to take.
That's awesome.
And I won't know where she's at.
Yeah.
Like I have X amount of time.
Yep.
So, you know, make it a game. Like what you said right there, make it fun where the kids get involved, like with the map, right? And that's a really good idea. I never thought about that. That's a really good idea. Give them a map and say, hey, who wants a sucker? And if your kids are like mine, they're like, oh my God,
it's on.
You know?
Yeah.
And they're like, tell me where we're at on that map.
Right.
And I'll give you a sucker. And then watch their little brains start working. Like you said, they'll start looking at road signs.
Yeah.
Okay, that. And they'll find it. And I mean, kids are a lot smarter than what we give them credit for. And so, I mean, but having that plan, making it a game, doing it.
On that point, we need to teach our kids like critical thinking.
Yes.
That we're trying to teach ourselves. And the other game that I play with my kids, or it's not really a game, it's more like, it's just a critical thinking question, right? So they'll come to me and ask, you know, why does this thing do that? And I'll go, what's your
why
hypothesis?
Do you think?
Yeah. And then they'll go through and give their hypothesis, and I'll ask them a few more questions if it seems warranted. Okay, well,
Sure.
What if this, or what if that? Or, you know, have you thought through this part of it? We'll go through the whole kind of like scientific hypothesis forming process, and it's quick. It's not boring. It's actually a lot of fun. And then, so we do all that before we go to Google or to YouTube or to whatever to find that answer. So instead of, let's look it up, it's, well, what do you think? And then we might even look it up a different way. It might be, you know, okay, we're going to look that up in one of our, reference books that we have on hand.
Sure.
As opposed to, we're going to go type it into a search engine. So
I like that.
Just critical thinking is something not only we can do with our kids, but something that we can kind of sharpen our own skills at while we do it with our kids.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's good. That's really good.
So sorry.
No,
a little bit there.
you're good.
No. I think it's great.
I think, that's pretty much everything that I really wanted to cover. There are some options for additional storage in vehicles that are pretty clever. If you have, a large-ish, SUV or something like that, they make these molly plates that go on the back. I do recommend for medical stuff, and only because it needs to be conveniently located.
Yes.
And I like those because they're physically attached to the seat. Having responded to, vehicle accidents, it'd be really convenient to be able to, open a vehicle and go, hey, look, there's a med kit. Sweet.
Yes.
Hey, you have a tourniquet. Fantastic. Yes. Let's use that.
I'm guilty of the opposite. So I've got a not good enough medical kit in my vehicle. And,
it's better than most people. Most people have nothing. So
I'm working out, out in the field, and I make a bad cut with a knife, or I poke myself with something.
Sure.
And inevitably I'm digging for my med kit that's under like 5 layers of 5-gallon buckets full of tools, somewhere where I can't get to it and I'm bleeding. And it's not the right way to do it, because I don't cut myself that often, or badly at least.
Right.
So it gets kind of knocked down under that layer of other things.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like having something on a med kit on the back of a seat that stays there, and it's kind of up above everything else.
Yeah, and they make ones that have Velcro on them, so you can just grab it and rip. The other thing is, so the Molly, you can weave a piece of plastic through the Molly, and it'll actually retain it to that plate, and then you just grab that piece of plastic and rip it out, and and then the pouch just falls off. That's my preferred method. But yeah, there's lots of ways of attaching it to those plates.
Cool.
And they're available at resilientliving.com.
Plug.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sweet. Well, is there any comments, any thoughts from the peanut gallery? Doesn't look like we got any more.
Jared,
Yes, sir.
So people got a quick picture that I put up of your 10 C's that were written out.
Yeah.
Is your list of kind of things done enough that I could copy and paste that into the YouTube description?
As far as what you
People could
threw
look
up
into it?
there, you could, yeah, that could absolutely be posted up there. I don't have the additional ones in there as far as like water filtration, the medical first aid stuff. But that 10 C's is just a good solid starting point.
Okay. So if people are listening to this after the live stream,
Yeah.
Probably half an hour out, I can post or paste those 10 C's that Jared put up. So you can kind of review them if you want to.
Maybe I'll make a PDF of it and like just post it on my website. That would be
That'd
kind
be
of a good resource.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Absolutely. Well, I think we covered a lot of ground. I'm sure there's more that we could cover because
Always.
these are detailed topics, but thank you both for being a part of this. Thank you, William, for coming out and making the time to do this. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
awesome.
thanks
We
for
love
having me.
local guests. William, do you do anything that you want to let people know about? You mentioned handyman type work, farming, anything that you do that our audience might be interested in or might want to hire you for?
So yeah, I own a company. It's called Hickory Valley Handyman, hvhtn.com. You can go on there and see work that we do. We do anything from remodel, renovation, from partial to whole home. We are currently building out a tiny home. It's about 420 square feet. And so you can get on TikTok, look me up, Hickory Valley Handyman, follow me. And I do weekly, sometimes more than one video a week of kind of the progress that we got going on with it. It's just me and my dad. So we got about 46 years experience combined. And so, but yeah, I mean, we do pretty much anything. I called it handyman in the beginning, but really it's more than that. We do construction, and we really focus on remodel and renovations. And so, yeah, if you have any kind of project at home, there's nothing too small or too big that we can't, do. And I had to go back right there. Was it yesterday? I drove a staple through that finger. I was putting insulation up in the loft of one of that building to be like the bedroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Laying on my back with a slap stapler. And I was like, hey, I got it. And I had like my knee holding it up, and I went, whop. And man, it's so cool because me and my dad both were firefighters too. And so we were both emergency medical responders.
Right.
And so I was like, hey, Dad, I'm going to need a Band-Aid, And dude, I hear him take off, right? And so my dad's got like this giant med pack when we were first responders. And man, he rips out, the good, I say it like this, the good Band-Aids, the fabric.
Yes.
And the real good and tacky. And I put that on there, man. And so like, and he like automatically starts going through. Hey, when you get home, you need to get that, open back up, wash it out with alcohol, clean it up, look at it.
On it.
Yeah. Put Neosporin, like get it sealed back up with good stuff, and then put a Band-Aid on it. And I'm like, I'm almost 40 and my dad's still just right there, and I love it, man. I wouldn't want it any other way. But yeah, I mean, we do all kinds of things. And so, yeah, if you need any kind of project at home or anything like that, hvhtn.com, and you can go down to the bottom and contact us, and we'll get in touch with you as soon as possible. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, I just added you as I start following you on TikTok, which is Hickory Valley Handyman. So you were easy to find. So,
Yes. Yeah. It worked out. I didn't have to be like H
Yeah,
Valley
yeah, right.
man 84 29 50, so I was kind of shocked. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, I must be the only Hickory Valley handyman in the
That's why
world.
there's a the in front of my the homestead consultant.
Yeah.
'Cause
Right.
that was the domain that was available if I
Yeah.
put the in front of it.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. So
William,
know
thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having
Jared,
me.
give us a rundown of what you do and how people can get a hold of you.
Alrighty. My name is Jared Wilson. I own Resilient Living, which is a storefront, but it's also our website, resilientliving.com. Oh, here, I can throw it out there so that you can all see it for those who are watching live. You can follow us on YouTube at Resilient Living, on Facebook. You find us at Resilient Living, on Instagram at Resilient Living. Then TikTok, I had to do the _living. Yeah, that's just the way it works. So basically, what we do is I sell books on homesteading, on animal husbandry, on gardening, on a lot of this survival, disaster preparedness. We sell freeze-dried foods. I sell knives and emergency blankets, like this one. I've got a little bit of everything, and a little bit of knowledge, and a lot of friends who have even more knowledge. So come by the shop and hang out. We're right at the corner of Hodges Ferry Road and 111, halfway between Spencer and Sparta in Middle Tennessee. And I'd love to hang out, and you can have a cup of coffee and we can chat.
Yeah, it's a great little shop. People should stop by if they're anywhere in the neighborhood. My name is Ryan Steva. I'm the owner of the homesteadconsultant.com, and I help people set up homesteads, troubleshoot odd, technical issues.
That is your
Do-
specialty.
It really is, fixing things or setting up things that nobody else could come up with, or it's just for whatever reason, that's what I have a brain for. But I help people set up homesteads to be more resilient, more efficient, and just generally work better for what you're wanting to do. And I've got a YouTube channel that people can check out. Everything's the Homestead Consultant. So if you just look that up on whatever social platform, should be able to find me. What else? Thanks everybody for being here today. Thanks for tuning in. And if you need anything from any of us, just reach out. We're all part of a community here, and we're really doing this just to help people out. We obviously plug in our businesses, but we really do enjoy helping people, especially our local community, and building stronger communities. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. And if you need help, let us know. We'd love to meet you. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Alrighty. See ya.
Yes.